We ready go, ladies and gentlemen?
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
What an important win. Dare I say the most important win of Chelsea's season. Oh, my heart. It wasn't a classic. Dare I say a bit of a stink fest. But oh, my word. That moment of brilliance from Captain Reece James to set up super goal scorer supreme Marc Cucurella sees Chelsea get all 3 points against Manchester United at home. By the way, before this game, in the Premier League era, Chelsea and Man United had an exactly equal record. The same amount of wins, draws and losses. Tipped in the favour, baby! Oh my word, my heart, my blood pressure. What's poppin', people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. If you're feeling good, please do just let me know by dropping a like on the video. And if you are yet to subscribe, what you ruddy doing, mate? Join the Football Therapy fun train, and I'm driving choo-choo. Oh, my God. Right, before we get into this, yeah, let me tell you a story, okay? So, Villa and Chelsea, both playing at home against the Europa League finalists, who are both respectively the banter clubs of the Premier League, the two teams that occupy the spaces just above the relegation zone in the Premier League table. They're both really bad. And Ange Postecoglou did what we assumed both teams would do. Rotate his team. Send out the reserves. And I was thinking, yeah, hopefully a nice calm win against Manchester United's under-15s. That would be ideal. Certainly their reserves. No! Freaking Ruben Amorim, yeah? Send out this mob, the first team. What's he doing? Where's Bayindir? Yeah? Why is Bruno Fernandes there? Mason Mount, that was rife with narrative. I know they're pretty... they're not the greatest team, are they, Man United? But what's he doing sending out that team? You're supposed to send out the children, the reserves, the old players, the freaking local pub team. You didn't read the script. To be honest, man, and it was mentioned on the Sky Sports commentary, it was reminded to the viewers by Alan Smith, the co-commentator, this is the youngest team in the Premier League by some distance. And it's pertinent because it's such a high-pressure game. At home as well, you know, where sometimes you're in fans, you can feel the nerves. Of course, the Chelsea fans are going to feel nervous in the stadium. They have every right to, because we're in this position, yeah? So, this is a very young and experienced team feeling the pressure against Man United's first team, who don't give AF, really. They're just literally, they're there to ruin the party. Pressure's off them. They got a big game. They got their game for Champions League in a few days, and a trophy, you know? Good for them. I mean, the fact that one of them and Spurs are going to win a trophy is nothing short of a disgrace. But let's talk about this game, because we ruddy did it. Huh? We did it. Now, we've got one game left against Nottingham Forest. And, you know, who knows what's going to happen with Arsenal. Aston Villa on the final day when they play Man United. Because I think they go to Old Trafford after the final. So Man United might be like, we've won a trophy, it's party time, parade a trophy, let's beat Aston Villa, or draw, you know? And if they draw, it means we can draw against Forest and get Champions League football. There's one game left. There's so much to talk about in this game, and we are going to get into it now. Oh my God, I'm just so... So let's use SofaScore, right? We've already seen Man United's overly strong lineup, all things considered. Enzo Maresca went with Rob Sanchez in goal, predictably. Interestingly, Reece James started. I said he would. I think I said he would in my predictions. I think I did. Did I? I think I did. Yeah, I did. But I also had like a much stronger midfielder. So Reece James, and can I just say, thank you, Maresca. Look, freaking train your Maresca ball long term if that's truly the way. But thank you for having the humility to be like, right, at the moment, let's play James right back because he's good at that. And even if it's not going to be conducive to my long-term plan of how I want to play, this is the way to play at the moment. You can say he's dogmatic. He did what was right here, and I'm thankful. And I'm a little bit sympathetic to him because he couldn't, turn to Sancho, who is can help sometimes. Of course, Jackson is banned. Gu is still injured. He wasn't in the squad. He really had nothing on the bench, bro. Like, he had nothing. He had Dewsbury Hall. Ugh. It's tough. So I do genuinely have sympathy for Maresca in terms of availability. The squad planning's been poor for Chelsea, but of course, it's going to be a big summer window. So remind you now, guys, make sure you are subscribed and you have the bell notifications icon turned on, because I always try and get the latest news out to you as soon as possible. So yes, let's have a look at his heat map, see if he was inverting at all, Reece James. No, that is a right back. So a right centre back de facto, and also pressing up forwards. Certainly not inverting into defensive midfield. Cucurella was very much a left back, as you can see there. A little bit more reserved because he had wingers in front of him. And then you had Caicedo, who was Sky Sports and my man of the match, all over the gaff. And let's just look at his stats now. He completed the majority of his long balls, massively dominated his ground duels. He didn't win aerials, but he made 4 tackles, and apparently he won possession. I don't know why it's not on here, but Sky Sports showed how many times he won possession, which was a lot. Anyway, he was amazing. He was a colossus in the midfield for me. Cole Palmer played well, despite not scoring or assisting. We had Noni Madueke playing out of position. And George, bless him, playing as a striker. The first Premier League start for teenager Tyreek George, who is essentially he's a winger. He can play both sides, but he's a winger. Asked to play striker, probably because he's a little bit taller. But bless him, he's never winning an aerial duel against Maguire. Maguire was just ate him for breakfast, as was, it was going to happen. So it was really, really tough for him. But it was a team performance, guys. It really was. And no. Let's take you through some timelines and stuff, because it was hella stressful, yeah? Let's look at the stats. So Chelsea were worthy winners. 0.82 XG, which was more than double Man United. We did have 3 big chances, which is nice, and it also makes you think, get me a striker. Just get me, I don't care who it is. At this point, it can be Ashley Barnes. Peter Crouch, remember when we were being linked to those guys in the Abramovich era at one point under Conte? They were dark days. Literally, bro. Because there was a good lobbed ball over the top by Caicedo, and Noni was like, where a striker would be like, thank you very much. Just get us a striker, mate. It's so important. 11 shots to their 5, 7 corner kicks to their 2. They had more fouls because they had less of the ball. They had a bit more possession, but we didn't care about that at all. We were much the better team, but that didn't prevent the nerves. It didn't stop it being nervy. Do you know what I mean? So let's walk you through the game. So Harry Maguire scored an offside goal in the 17th minute. We needed VAR to see it. He looked offside on the eye, and he was offside, with semi-automated. Just on that goal, it made me laugh. I did post it on my Instagram, Football Yannick, by the way. There was a slow-mo replay of his knee slide celebration. He was just sort of looking into the camera in like a sort of, dare I say, Sax of Vendor way. And it was like, I felt like he was like sliding into my soul without consent, and I just felt dirty. It's very funny. So thank goodness for that. But I was worried, bro. And you were worried, you were worried too. Maybe Villa had scored their first goal at this point as well in the 17th minute. Of course, they were 45. Well, they were an hour ahead of us with half-time, I believe. But I thought they were definitely always going to win at home against the Tottenham reserves. Of course, they ended up running out 2-0 winners. So the half-time comes. We know Villa are winning. We know we're in trouble, and we've seen what can only be described as a sort of the better team. But all I can think of in my head is young and experienced, immature, feeling the pressure, scared, no striker. Palmer not playing quite well, but not goal-scoring form, not popping off shots. And I just feel the fear. And, you look at the available plays for Man United, and there's more. And, of course, also worth mentioning Mason Mount. He got the treatment. He got booed in his first touch. And, you got loads of treatment from Chelsea fans. Of course it's going to happen. I always say it, you defect from the south to the north. You defect from blue to the red. You are an enemy of Chelsea. just the way it is, man. Unless, yeah, I mean, you are. There's no way of getting around it. And I did fear the narrative gods giving Mason Mount a winner, and the guy who offered 3 goal involvements in the Premier League the Champions League quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals to help us win the Champions League, scores or assists a goal that will kick us out of Champions League places. I just felt the narrative gods percolating away behind the scenes, and I was treating myself. So I must say, right, second half, we get a penalty, or do we? Tyreek George, I don't think he was like trying to dive massively, but I think he's trying to go down because he thinks he's fouled. But for example, later Ahmad dives. He dives just without contact off the ball, and he gets rightly booked. This isn't as bad as that. But it wasn't a penalty. There was also another shout, and many of you, it was on my Instagram, people who follow me, or was it on the Chelsea one? But anyway, there was a moment where Enzo Fernandez kicks the ball into Rasmus Højlund. It was in an unnatural position in the box, but it was so close. I would have been gutted if that was given against me. I think maybe sort of see them given slightly further away, but I get why that wasn't given as a penalty. Some of you may disagree and be like, that's a penalty to Chelsea, but I don't necessarily agree. Look, by the way, at all these freaking yellow cards to Man United. The only one we got, it looks like, is Cole Palmer for time wasting, and he only got that because he's in my fantasy team, so minus points for Yanni. But yeah, Man United, thugs, a lot of them. They were just out to ruin the party. Cometh the hour, cometh the man in the 71st minute, and look, round of applause for the goal. It was a goal of immense quality. Now, while I remember it, Reece James nearly scored one of the best goals of the season. Goal of the season contender. He smacks it from far out. He gets a proper whip on it, like knuckle, poo, and it nearly, just in case none of you heard of that, it went poo. It was nearly whipped all the way back in and hit the post. It would have been an absolute beaut. The movement, the shape of it would have been incroyable. Very, very unfortunate too. I saw on social media as well a piece of footage from behind it, someone filming. It would have been an absolute monster goal. But yeah, cometh the hour, cometh the man in the 71st minute. He's got the ball. He's retaining possession outside the box. He's being pressed. He does a roulette, a Zidane, whatever you want to call it, and whatever your whatever your name for it is. He spins on the ball and plays in a beautiful sort of little lobbed diagonal to the back post. And who's there? Goal scorer extraordinaire, Marc Cucurella, who yet again scores for Chelsea and does his little penguin celebration, which is very pleasing. And look, it's a lovely goal. And it's a goal worthy of winning Chelsea 3 points and keeping them in the top 5. It's an incredible goal. And of course, we lead. Although it's a long-ass time after that because it's maybe 7 minutes. We play so many extra time minutes. There's a pitch invader as well. I really love... We sort of wait 10 minutes. I love the substitution I love both the substitutions from Maresca, really, because it's the only thing he could have done. Lavia for George. He's like, bun strikers, mate. We are. And that's what I really like about Maresca. Because this season... I keep saying I'm a broken record. I hated last season because we conceded so many goals. For me, that's the most un-Chelsea thing ever. I don't like Chelsea conceding loads of goals. I like 1-0 wins. Yum, yum, yum. Feed me the 1-0 wins. I will eat because they keep, boring Chelsea. It's Chelsea heritage, yeah? It triggers the opposition, and that's what we like. So, defend well. And yeah... And again, it's not Maresca going, oh, we're going to YOLO transition football and just entertain and try and score goals and fun. It's like, no, we're going to keep possession. We're going to keep the ball. We're ahead. I'm going to put a functional defensive midfielder on for what we're calling a striker. Love it. It's Chelsea heritage. And indeed, Gusto Finetto. There was a chance when Gusto was in on goal later. He had a terrible touch. This man is never going to score for Chelsea. He just won't. He's had many chances, many good positions. He either skies it, hits it against the keeper, or gets scared and passes it. He just won't. He might one day score, go in and off his arse, and then he'll suddenly score loads of goals. But until then, I don't think so. Mainu, Heaven, Ogate, other people come on for Man United, and we see it out. It's just lovely, isn't it? The job's not done, and we don't know the permutations yet of the other teams. This is what the table looks like here. So, we are on 66 points, just like the Toon above us, who have a game in hand. I think they might finish second, actually, Newcastle. They are very good. And Villa, also in fifth. Man City. Wouldn't it be funny if they miss out? Of course, they play the FA Cup final this weekend. I don't know, man. We are, hold on. We're 4 points ahead of Forest. So, Forest have got 2 games, Yannick. My God, I can't. There's just too much. Anything can happen still, can't it? We just need to beat Forest. I think we could get away with drawing with Forest. We could. We might even... There is some weird reality where we get away with... If Villa... Oh my God, I can't do the maths, bro. There's a very rare instance, I think, if Villa lose their final game, if Man City only get a draw, I don't know. There's some we need to beat Forest. I'm not gonna do the maths. It's hurting my brain. But I tell you what, we've given ourselves every chance. It's a final. We've got 2 finals left in the season. We need to try something else out for striker, because I don't fancy Tariq George up against Murillo and Demman away at the City ground against Forest. We need to just train Chalobah as a striker and be like, just win headers, mate. Just do something. Anything's better than that. Tariq George is an excellent young player, but it's just unfair. I mean, he has been good as a striker before, but throwing him up against the back three that's got Maguire in, it's just not fair. It's just not going to do anything. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Please do comment down below. But job complete. The biggest win of our season, genuinely. And Captain Reece James inspired win to boot. So let me know your thoughts. Thank you as always for liking and subscribing. Do check out the second channel, of course, daily content on Football Yannick. There's a link in the top of the description, or just search Football Yannick on YouTube. I'm going to go and lie down. Peace.